Hey guys, Vegan Grandpa here. We are doing nachos tonight. It's Tuesday. We normally do tacos, but we're switching it up to nachos tonight. All whole foods. It's gonna be awesome. I'm making a cheese sauce to go with it, a vegan cheese sauce. I'll show you how to do that and show you how we put everything together. Can't wait to get started. Let's do it.
Alright, so there's the finished product, full plate of nachos, and this is how it starts out. To start the cheese sauce, I take cashews, 1 cup of cashews, and I soak them in water for about 5 hours so they get nice and soft and kind of squishy. And then those are black beans. I'll soak those for about an hour and that's it. And it's because I'm going to cook them in this pressure cooker. This is the Instapot. It's a pressure cooker and it's really nice because it cooks them from bulk to fully cooked in about 30 minutes, which is awesome. So I let them soak until they start opening up like that. You can see a little bit of the white starting to show through on the beans. And then those go straight into the pot. Just cover them up with water, secure the lid, lock it in place, and make sure that little valve release at the top is closed. And simply hit the button that says beans, and 30 minutes later you will have fully cooked beans. And the benefit to cooking like this is that it gets rid of any of the anti-nutrients or lectins that can tend to show up in legumes. If you don't have one of these, you boil them on the stovetop for at least an hour, bring it to a boil, and then reduce the heat to simmer. And let that cook for an hour or until they're done. Maybe a little bit longer than an hour. Once they're done, drain them and rinse them, and those are ready to go for the nachos. Set them aside. Alright, now to finish the cheese sauce, rinse your cashews after they soaked for 5 hours, 6 hours, however long you soaked them. Rinse them. Put them into a blender container. This is a little blender cup that came with our Ninja, so I'm just going to use that. You can use a regular blender if you like. I have to be careful since it's such a small cup. I'm getting it all over the counter, so I use a spoon. Alright, so put in a 1/2 cup of water and blend away. You might have to shake it and mix it up a little bit between blends so that it gets completely mixed in. Because it's such a paste-like consistency, so you have to shake it up a few times. Once it's done, you're going to scoop it out into a pan where you can start creating your sauce. As you can see, it's got that real thick consistency. That's cashew cream. That's how you make it. To that, you're going to add 1 cup of vegetable stock. You can make your own or buy it from the store. I like to make my own when I can. I think it's a lot more nutritious. And you're just going to heat that up and stir it so it all becomes incorporated with each other. And then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. And I didn't have the camera on when I did that, so I just had to put it in text there. So make sure you add that, a 1/2 cup of nutritional yeast. I also added a little bit of turmeric to give it a nice yellowish flavor or yellowish color. And the flavor isn't really affected at all because it's such a small amount. Just a little bit of turmeric will turn it yellow. And I also add a little bit of chili powder to give it a Mexican sort of flavor. And scoop that into a bowl. And that is ready to go for the top of my nachos. And you can add a little salt if you want. I think it tastes a little bit better with salt, so we added it. Alright, now I'll just show you what the other ingredients are that we have for the nachos as we set them out. This is tempeh. We had it left over from the night before. It's just diced up and steamed with the chili powder tossed around. It's brown rice there, just straight up plain brown rice. Chopped cilantro, of course. Have to have that for nachos. And some diced up tomatoes. A necessity for any nachos. And this is some diced up cucumber. I like diced up cucumber on just about anything. And it goes really well with the nachos. I didn't think we had enough tomatoes, so I had to dice up another one. As you can see, our kitchen is really busy. My wife's making lunches there in the background, and I think you can see my son walking around there as well somewhere. Chop up some green onions. Adds a nice flavor. You can use regular white onions if you like, or red onions, whichever. Or you don't have to have onions at all. But we like them, so we put them in there. We're going to get some avocados going. It's a healthy fat source. We have a great selection of protein sources here with the tempeh and the beans and rice, and then a healthy fat with the avocado, with all the carbohydrates from all the vegetables. This is a head of cabbage that we got from our farm, the CSA farm we go to, and we're going to include that as well. I know a lot of people don't think of cabbage as a topping for nachos, but I try to incorporate it whenever I can. And there's Misha, my granddaughter, trying to get in on the action. She's the whole reason I chose the name Vegan Grandpa for the channel. So this is just some diced turnip that we got from the CSA farm pack this week. It's nice and crunchy and adds some nutrients to the meal. Doesn't have much of a flavor. And we'll just run through the ingredients real quick here that we're going to use. We've got our corn chips, corn tortillas, got the tempeh, the beans and rice. And then for the veggies, we've got the cucumber, the tomato, the green onions. And then we've got the turnip there that we diced up. Adds a nice crunch. Avocado, cilantro, and cabbage. And then my cheese sauce, which is awesome. You got to try it. It's really versatile, and if you don't add any of the spices to it, you can actually just mix it in with some pasta and make a macaroni and cheese too. So it looks like we're ready to start. Oh yeah, can't forget the hot sauce. Very important. And this is my true measure as to whether my meals that I prepare are any good or not. If my 11-year-old son is loading up on beans and vegetables, I know it's a success. As you can see, he's digging right in. And then it's my turn for my plate, and I put a little bit of everything on. You have to be careful of the chips you choose to prepare your nachos with and the tortillas. Sometimes there can be animal products in them, so make sure you're getting chips that are as all natural as possible. And what you want to look for is anything that's 100% whole grain, if possible. And with the tortillas, sometimes there'll be product in the ingredients called amylase, which is an enzyme that we use to break down starches, and sometimes that can be derived from animal sources, such as pigs. I did the research online, and Guerrero, the brand we use, actually uses amylase from a fungus source, so that's good. And there's the final product. Looking awesome. Can't wait to dig in and eat that. So good. A+.
So the vegan cheese sauce is very flexible. You can add a lot of things to it. You can put chili powder in it like I did, or cumin. You can dice up some onions and garlic and saute that up and put that in there. Or you could dice up a tomato and some spicy peppers and put that in there if you want it like a queso type sauce. Do me a favor, don't go buy a can of tomatoes and dump that in there. Buy a fresh tomato and just chop it up and put it in. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to make, put them in the comment section below. Subscribe to the video, like it. Hope you like this video. If you want me to do more of these, let me know. And I will catch you guys next time. Thanks.